For this episode of Rutbusters, I am going to show you how to take this and turn it into this. Wait, what? So maybe you've been playing guitar for a while now and you're getting tired of your leads. They all sound the same and you're just tired of listening to yourself. And that's what this Rutbusters series is all about. It's how to help you get that stay fresh feeling back again. Fresh and clean as a whistle. So you saw in that first riff, I played the same thing twice, obviously. And what this Rutbuster is about is learning not what to play, but where you play it, which is just as important as the notes that you choose. And so what I'm talking about here is where in the count you're playing something. When you're first learning guitar, hopefully you're playing with a metronome or maybe a drum loop or something, and you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4 eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you play all of your scales and everything you're practicing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you learn everything right on the 1. And what I'm talking about is not starting everything on the 1 like you've been kind of training yourself to do all the time, and maybe starting it somewhere else. And the example that I'm going to show you when I do the riff here is starting on the and of 1. So for instance, if you have just a simple like a pull-off thing, and you're playing it on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you start it on the 1, it repeats, it loops in a very predictable way. You can start it on the and of 1 instead. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And it becomes an upbeat, which, when you're playing it solo like that by itself, you can't really tell. But when you play it against a loop, you can really feel it. Or when you play it against the backbeat, you can really feel it. So let's show the example and then we'll talk about it after I've played it. Here's the first one, played right on the downbeat. And now, let's play it on the and of 1. Different quality to it, and you can really hear it with those couple of pickup notes at the end of it there. When it is played right on the downbeat on the 1, those notes lead you right into the 1 again, and they have a feeling that's comfortable and samey, if you will, something you've heard a lot of times. But when the whole thing's playing on the and of 1 and that little pickup happens over the 1, it almost starts to get a little bit of a trippy quality to it. I can't think of an adjective for it. It kind of makes me want to river dance when I hear it. You thought I was going to river dance there, but that's never happening, just so you know. This works for leads. This works for basic riffs too. In fact, I'm going to grab my other guitar here and play the beginning riff to a song I have called Absence of Duality so you can see what I'm talking about. So I have this riff that starts a song, Absence of Duality, and it goes... And as it wraps around there, you can see I'm staying on the beat. In the song, sometimes I play that first note on the and of 4, so it picks up the 1 and it has a different quality to it. These are subtle things, but they make a difference and they sound cool. So, hanging on that. And these are the kind of things that add interest to a song, make it more interesting for you to play, especially as you mess around with more complicated versions of it, and just keeps you engaged and makes you find different things that you wouldn't have thought of before. I even had it happen by accident to me before. I was working on the lead for a song on my last instrumental album, and I had an arpeggio that I was playing through the verses, and then in the song, I wanted to copy it over in my DAW over to the lead part just to see if it was going to work as a backdrop for the lead part. And when I pasted it an eighth note ahead, so it was on the end of 1. And when I heard it back, I was like, oh, that's cooler than if I had just put it in normally. And I ended up learning to play it there and making it the actual first part of the lead. Get my instrumental album now on Amazon, iTunes, and all the other stores that I don't know the names of. So you can see you're not having to learn anything new as far as what you're playing with your fingers, licks, riffs, sitting there with a metronome practicing things. It's just more about learning where to fit them in and then getting the feel of it as it finds its new place in time. And hopefully this helps you bust that rut and come up with some different things. And I'd like to hear what examples you guys come up with your own music. Always please send me stuff. I like to hear what everybody's doing, and hopefully they're getting something out of what I'm showing here. And until next time, guys, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.